Hello everybody, I'm back on the YouTubes. I don't know when I posted my last video. I know it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, hi guys, I'm back on the YouTubes. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about I wanted to talk about social media. Really, that's the main thing I'm going to talk about. And I'm actually going to make it very quick. I know usually in all my other videos I'm like, oh, I just want to quickly talk about this, I want to quickly talk about that, and then the video ends up being like 10 minutes long. So yeah, this one is actually going to be a quick one. So yeah, I want to talk about social media, and whatever I'm about to say now, I just want to put out that my intention isn't to make you feel fear. My intention isn't to make you feel like you shouldn't use these things as a tool to connect with others, to network with others, to heal yourself. Um, you know, my intention is that you use more discernment, you have more of an honor towards your protection, and you value your time and where your attention goes. So with that being said, let's get started. So, social media, right? Everybody, pretty much everybody and their grandma is on it. Yeah, everyone's got an account somewhere. If it's not Facebook, it's Twitter. If it's not Twitter, it's Instagram. If it's not Instagram, it's TikTok. Everywhere, yeah? So, when it comes to the explore pages and the news feeds and the refreshing of the live feed, and they call it a feed for a reason, because it's feeding you, yeah? So you need to be very mindful of what you're feeding yourself, and you need to be very mindful of what you choose to listen to, because a lot of these posts, their intention isn't to help you. Their intention is actually to harm you, to confuse you, to weaken your discernment, to weaken your ability to make assertive and certain decisions for yourself. And so when it comes to these things, you need to be very, first of all, be aware of how much time you spend on them, because already, the amount of time that you spend on them means that you're feeding them your energy. And the more you feed them your energy, it means that throughout a 24-hour day, because, that's what we go by in this world, in this, global society, because I can't the world as a society. You've got the real world, and then you have society and how society runs things, which includes government, etc., etc. So yeah, you need to be careful of the kind of stuff you're paying attention to and for how long you're paying attention to them, because that just takes up hours, it takes up time in your day, it takes up your energy when you're busy feeding this social media entity. This social media entity is also feeding you, and you just want to make sure that you've got a great diet with it. You don't want to be putting in all this time, all this precious magic, all these coins, all your money. You don't want to be giving this thing all your money, and then it's just spouting bullshit out at you, yeah, which is gonna do anyway. But it's up to you to use discernment to decide what to pay attention to and what to remove yourself from, and so yeah, especially especially if you're into like astrology and I don't even want to say into spirituality, because I'm of the belief that we are all spiritual. Some of us are more aware of it than others, but we are all from spirit. Even the whole world is of spirit. Pardon me. For me to sit in this car right now, yeah, and be talking to you on my phone, um, that came from an idea which came from someone's imagination, who brought that down from their mind into the world, and made it something that you can touch, something that you can feel. And so that is why I'm of the belief that we are all of spirit and we all have spiritual natures. We all just utilize them differently, or some of us just aren't aware and others are more aware of it than others. And that's it, and that's all. So yeah, you have to be very mindful of, what you're feeding yourself, and for the amount of time that you're doing it, because what happens is, all it takes is 1 minute of, let's say, for example, you're grateful, right? Say, let's say you're grateful for the fact that you have a home, and you're of wealth, and you spend 1 minute towards being grateful for that, and what happens is you'll find that every day that minute of being grateful will actually increase to more minutes of being grateful, of you spending time being more grateful for things, until you get to a point where you find that, it's a couple hours, and then it's actually a whole day now that you just feel that energy of being grateful. So that's exactly how these things work, whatever this Instagram, or wherever these media entities are feeding you, it could easily affect your day, which can then easily affect your life, is what I'm trying to say, just in case I didn't explain it properly. It's like 7 in the morning right now, so yeah. But yeah, you have to be really mindful of what you're paying attention to, and these things can easily come and confuse you, and weaken your discernment, because like I said, if you're into astrology, um there's going to be a lot of posts about transits, about retrogrades, about full moons, half moons, blue moons, blood moons, numbers, numerology, alignments, synchronicities, all sorts of stuff. You're going to see all sorts of stuff on your feed about that. And if you're very new into learning about these things, it might be very easy for you to get wrapped up in seeing everything and taking everything as truth, when really the only truth about it is that, the only way it can be the truth is to the person who wrote it. The person who wrote that post, that's the truth to them. You can read that and you can make the decision as to whether it's truth or not. But I think a lot of people can easily get wrapped up in it being the truth, because it's spiritual, because it's of the feminine natures. And so yeah, and the added element of mystery, and the unknown, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just really just wanted to come here to say, be very mindful, protect yourself. Don't allow these things to weaken your discernment. Don't allow these things to make you believe that you have to do things by yourself, that you have to be alone, that you can't trust anyone, and that everybody who secretly loves you is showing fake love. Because I'm seeing a lot of bullshit these days. I can't even lie to you. I don't even want to go on my social media that much anymore. I even questioned whether I should do this video or not, because I didn't even want to give my energy to it like that. But because I know how a lot of people are spiritually in the world right now, I felt like I had to do this. I felt like I had to do this. I don't know who's gonna listen to this. I don't know when they're gonna listen to this, but I just hope that if this message helps you, please just let it be that you honor more of your time, you honor your space, you honor the company you keep, you honor the things you're feeding yourself, spiritually, non-physically, because that matters just as much as the physical, even more than the physical actually. And yeah, just take time. Don't even, sometimes, if you get a bad vibe from something that you're reading, don't even finish reading it, because words are spells, words are magic, energy is magical. You need to be careful with what you're being told, with what you're being influenced by, because yeah, there's influence and then there's manipulation. And I feel like a lot of these things on the feed are very manipulative, because you don't even know who's behind that account. That's one thing I find with social media. There's the real people that use their real accounts, there's real people that use fake accounts to troll people and shit like that, and then there's people who have accounts but they're not even people. They're actually like bots, robots, and all they're there to do is to either troll people, or to manipulate people, or there's a word I'm trying to look for. It's like they're basically there to see the system and to make the algorithms better for you. So they'll throw things in there. For example, they'll throw like a post in there from, like, I don't even know, 5 years ago or whatever. And the whole point of it isn't for you to believe in it, but it's just to see what you would do if you see that post. And you know, these systems are getting smarter, these algorithms are getting smarter. They are basically trying to make robots as humanistic as possible. And so, you know, they're gonna do these things because, you know, it's their system. Remember, like, don't forget that, you know, this is a system that you're borrowing for now. This is a tool that you're borrowing for now. So what I'm trying to say is, really, if you're gonna use these things, use them wisely. Don't dedicate all your time to them unless you're making money off that shit. That's the only way I would be like, okay, cool, you know. But even then, don't dedicate all your time to it. Like, just be on there because you know you have the intention to make some cash and then fuck off, kind of thing. Yeah, so, you know, protect your energy, protect your space, and use, even you can even use these things as a way to strengthen your discernment, you know, to strengthen that muscle, and not just feel like you have to run away from it. But like I said, if you're kind of new into the game of astrology and learning about these things, etc., etc., as in numerology, etc., etc., then yeah, just keep your eye open, you know, keep your eye open, and don't be easily swayed by what you see, because a lot of that shit will try and fuck you up. Trust me, it will try and fuck you up, and it will make you feel like you have to separate from people that you never had to separate from in the first place. Because remember, this whole social media thing is part of the global society. It's not actually part of the real world. We're made to feel like it's part of the real world, but it's not. So yeah, and yeah, that's all I have to say.